So it was over 10 years ago. I was 23 male and my ex was also 23 female. We dated for 2 years as teenagers, things were great, had good times together. But we kind of wanted different things and she broke up with me a couple years later after a breakup. I randomly see her in the nightclub and she's holding hands with an old friend I'd known from way back in primary school. They'd been dating for a couple of months. So a couple of days later, I received a message of her asking how was I etc. Random messages for a good few weeks here or there. Then she messages to say she's engaged to this guy the first went to school with, but she isn't happy with him. She wants me back. I had no intentions of getting back with her. I'd move on. Had a good job, money in the bank and was going traveling the world in a few months. Anyway, I got drunk and she messaged me and I was drunk. It would be good if you just tell me how you feel. So being drunk, I responded with, I'd be good if you come around to mine so we can have sex. I wasn't expecting a good response to be honest. But within a few minutes, I had a reply. What time got home from the bar and she was sat on my doorstep waiting for me. They proceeded to have quite possibly the most mind-blowing dirty intimacy you could ever imagine. We continued to have it behind her fiancé's back then for quite a few weeks. Not ashamed to admit that the engagement ring on her finger turned me on as well. It was then a few weeks she told me that she couldn't carry on like this and we either got together or ended it. I'd made my mind up. I was going traveling and couldn't commit. So we ended it. 2 months later, I got a message she had broken up with a fiancé. Problem was she was pregnant. We had never used protection and claimed she had not gotten closer with the fiancé in months. Fuck, I spoke to my best friend who explained to me, she might be lying or trying to trap me. So I asked for proof. She did not provide even any proof of being pregnant. Then messaged to say she was going for an abortion. I don't get I agree with abortions personally. So I said to her, no, let's sort this out. Then she blocked me. I received a message a few weeks later to say she had been for an abortion. Now, up until last year, I assumed she would have an abortion, not seen her since been traveling, etc. See a friend of hers in a bar, she was hammered drunk and took the time to explain to me that she was never pregnant and she just wanted to get me back. Years of guilt flushed away. Second story. This happened long ago, but I just wanted to share. My ex went to an active state university. It was an hour difference between us and I wanted to surprise him by scoring a job saving up money so I could move out there with him and go to community college. I did not apply to his school. I should have known from the start when he mentioned this girl Jerry, but being young and dumb, I trusted him. He was religious Mormon and believed in staying with one person, getting married, etc. He started arguing with me anytime I told him I would be going out with friends, saying I was up to something. Second red flag, and that I should not be going out and having fun. Next thing I know, he breaks up with me before Valentine's Day. I was heartbroken and devastated as we were each other's first. And he told me he wanted to get married with me. He claimed he wanted to save up for a ring. My friends then show me his Instagram post of him and Jerry spending Valentine's Day together. And that's when I put 2 and 2 together. A few months later, mutual friends tell me about and his new girlfriend getting engaged, getting married. He tried to contact me a few times before they got married and I just didn't want to speak to him anymore. Story 3. My ex and I were together for about a year and a half. Throughout our relationship, he abused drugs and did his addiction from me and his family. When we found out, he said all the things addicts say in depression: I will get help. I will get better and I promise I will stop. He had lied to me for months of our relationship and I was devastated and worried for him. I have a lot of experience with addict. My brother being one. So I know recovery is a long and difficult road. I also know loving an addict is not easy. I told him he needs to get professional help and put in the work to begin getting clean. He did not. I sometimes wish I left then when I found out, and I blamed myself a lot for saying as long as I did. He still tried to hide his addiction after I knew, and would lie and canceled plans to go and get high with his friends or even alone. He had promised to call me before bed and I would wait up for hours for nothing. Loving an addict is so lonely. Sometimes I wanted to leave some days, but I did not want to give up on him. I always see the best in people. He was my best friend and the first guy who truly made me feel something. I found out he had signed up for a dating site looking for hookups and told a girl he was happy to cheat on me with her. It was the worst pain I've ever felt. He said he hated himself so much. That's why he did it, and he won't ever forgive himself. It's been a month since I left and I'm still in so much pain. I know times heal all wounds. But right now I just feel so empty. I feel so embarrassed and ashamed. I cannot look at my body without crying. Does it truly get better? Story 4. I'm currently 21. And when I was younger, around 16 to 17, I saw messages of him talking to another woman and would sometimes hear him talk to her without meeting up, and I know for sure they did. I did not want to tell Mom because I did not want her to know. They have been a lot of times I just start crying because of this whole situation. One of my younger sister who is 16 saw some disgusting messages between my dad and a woman. Like 2 weeks ago. She ended up telling my mom and showing her the messages, yet my dad denied it. I guess I'm a coward. Just like my dad. My mom told me about this and started crying, and I felt terrible because I have kept it a secret. My sister told me too, and I felt very terrible because I know what she feels. My dad doesn't know that. I know what she feels. My dad doesn't know that. I know. And I told my mom I was going to confront him, but my mom asked me not to do it. I don't know if I should confront him or not. I know if I confront him, I might run violent story. 5. I think some of you read my story a few weeks ago. I called her. She cheated on me with her old chatting buddy. And few days later she confessed me everything. She did that willingly, and her friends did not even know about what happened. She just threw them under the bus. I met her chatting buddy, I beat him up. And after that, she confessed only she and her cheating buddy knows what happened. And she thought I will only trust her everything that comes out of her mouth because she's my girlfriend. I confronted her. So why did he kept saying? I don't know if she had a boyfriend, etc. The main thing is we are still together and I'm going to different countries to work. And she and her parents are thinking she's going with me and they're rushing our marriage. That's how it works for visa. If she's married, her visa will be approved fast and I'm delaying it. Some may say it's not necessary to take revenge. But when I think about it, it's really hard to move on because she was my everything. Imagine my future with her, gave her everything, making money for her, and our future gave everything I had. Now I'm all empty and heartbroken. Having a loyal life partner is indeed the greatest blessing of God. But unfortunately not all the people got the same grace. Let's trace my worst part of life. I'm a 29-years-old man married to a hot woman of 27. She's 2 years younger than me. We had a love marriage and our only daughter is now school-going. I thought our marriage was perfect. She's my best friend and an amazing wife and mother. Ace's knife is fantastic. I have been married to my wife for 4 years now. We've had our ups and downs, but it's mostly been pretty good. This year has been a worse one for us. I got a lot of work from my office and fully occupied. This had affected our married life. Neither one of us are wanting to do it much anymore. It's sad, but it is what it is. We've talked about starting to go to counseling together. I've been wanting to try that. So the other day I got off of work a good bit early. My wife was not expecting me. So I was going to surprise her when I walked in the house. I did not see her. At first I called her name a few times. Still, there was no response. Finally, I heard her. It sounded like she was moaning. I honestly figured that she was just playing with herself or something like that. I noticed it was coming from our bedroom, which was shut. When I opened the door, I was pretty shocked. She was on the top of another guy. They were being loud. So it seemed like it took at least 5 seconds or so before they noticed me. When they did, they were shocked and panicked. My wife was telling me that it wasn't what it looked like. The guy was putting his clothes on. He was his younger brother. He just greeted me, said, "Hi brother, how are you? We were waiting for you." I stared at him with bolting eyes. He got kind of frightened and walked out of the door. My wife was cheering up and said he was fixing my back pain. I still was silent and in shock. She asked me to say something. I just told her that I did not know what to say or how to feel. She tried to come close and hug. I hugged her as she said, she was not. Well, I slept on the couch that night while she remained shut in our bedroom. I felt weird throughout the night. I kept trying to feel better. On the next morning I went to office. Normally, in order to avoid from any misunderstanding and quarrels, I took a cold shower and mug a strawberry milkshake with some honey and roasted almonds to fix my mood. I kissed her but she ignored. I dropped my daughter to her school and then went to my office one day. My wife told me that she wanted to go on vacation. I'm like she wanted to go with her friends for vacations. When I asked her about her daughter's school schedule, she replied she will be staying at her aunt's home. I was amazed on her irresponsible behavior while I was having an urgent work. That day, I couldn't join her. The same day I came to know from his brother, friend who are my mutual friends, that my wife's brother was also going to vacation in a good place. She left the day before her brother did. So I thought I had nothing to worry about. 2 weeks later, my neighbor told me her brother was holding my wife's hand. I ignored it as this is common thing among siblings. Once we were at a friend of hers' house for a party. We both had too much to drink. She rarely drinks and never had done anything else. We had argued before we went. So we were kind of doing our own things. Fever in a rough patch that night. A group of her friends, both male and female, including her brothers, were smoking pot and convinced her to try it. I did not really care until I saw them gunning a joint. His brother put it in his mouth backwards and blew the smoke out of the bottom into her mouth. I let it go. I did not want to cause a scene. I agree. The love between siblings, but physical love is something else. A little while later, they were taking hits and passing it to the next person by way of mouth to mouth. It was her brother, and it wasn't just exchanging smokes. It was full-on passionate kiss. Some of the people were quietly viewing at them and some were judging the way both brother were doing this kind of things in a quiet moment. When I confronted her about it, she denied it was a kiss and said me clearly, "Come on man. He's my younger brother just like my kid. Even, I'm just 3 years older than him. Still, he's my baby." I did not want to make a scene and suggested we should go. She wasn't ready, even though she was already messed. She was having some ice cream shake with her friends. I was waiting for her. After a while I saw her fence without her. I went looking for my wife and I couldn't find her. Then after some time I saw her brother. He walked by looking guilty and disheveled. Then my wife came out of her room. I asked what she was doing. She said she had used the bathroom and felt nausea. Her hair was messed up and her makeup was gone. If she was really in a state of vomiting, then why did she eat pizza again while we were going home back? Everything was quite strange. When we got home, she got undressed to take a shower. She did not know I saw, but she did not have any underwear or underpants. She doesn't walk around our room. She had 3 bruises that looked like fingertips and a hickey on her neck. When I asked her about it, she said that I was dreaming stuff up and she had fallen in the yard. She wasn't dirty though. She never admitted to anything. One incident that changed our life is when I was coming home from work. One day I went to my house, all I had in my mind was I need a shower, go to my room and I see my wife shirtless, literally sleeping next to his brother. I'm not a fighter. I never been in a fight before, but I grabbed his foot and yanked him off my bed. I started screaming at him. She was like fish out of water and started saying the typical female crocodile tears. I forgave her every time. But she broke my heart every time. This time, my heart was broken and remembered how badly I was feeling. Her brother was trying to convince me that I was massaging my sister. She was having pain at the back. I pushed him in the fit of fury and warned my wife to don't meet him if I would not be at home. She agreed and asked her brother like a strict sister to go away. She then asked me to massage this back. As according to her, she was having serious pain. When asking from doctor, she's totally fine. Many things popped up in my mind. This incident compelled me to notice everything. I was in a state of restlessness. One day after finishing my work early, I just wanted to go home to take shower and make pasta for my wife to make her happy and comfortable and discuss all matters with her. I found her car on the drive. When I got home, I was kind of shocked on reaching close the door of our bedroom. I felt the sound of moaning and erotic talk. I just got angry to the fullest and kick on the door. But I'm shocked to see the core. I could hear my wife giggling in our bedroom there. Bad sounds and our bed was cracking. At first, I thought she was watching something naughty and I was slightly turned on. But when I walked in, I found her with her brother. Soon they realized that I'm there. Both froze and pulled back from one another. The brother apologized and started to dress. I was too shocked to react. I was angry but I let him leave. I was more upset about my wife. Even I denied her from meeting her brother in my absence. She was panicking, saying it was a mistake and apologized profoundly. But it was hard for me to believe that after such intense makeout with her brother, we had a sincere and loving relationship. Our bedroom life is good enough the way she ditched me. I hit like a punch when I bitterly asked his brother about his relationship with her sister. He replied me, I agreed, I did this and indeed, this is unfair. After all, we are human beings and we cannot get rid from sexual urges. I hate to admit it, but it's true that I'm sexually towards my sister and sexually active with her before you all hate me for this. Let me tell you the reason behind this attraction. My sister is the most sexy and hottest girl I have ever seen. I have seen her completely exposed many times since childhood. Even we used to share same room. We were living with our grandparents as my mom was divorced and father working in other town. We spent most of the time together. She used to see through sexy short clothes all the time, but I never tried to do anything with her when she got married with you, and once when I stayed at your home for preparation of exams, I saw you people so many times doing kissing and cuddling. I was kind of betrayed once when you went to Canada for urgent meeting and my sister was all alone. I seduced her and we got physically active. Now, tell me, how can I not have an attraction towards her? Any guy in my position will have same feelings towards her. I was shocked and realized they have been doing this for many years. I finally discovered that they were in a relationship for the past 4 years. When I confronted my wife with the evidence of them getting physical, she played the victim and blamed me for her behavior. She told me that I'm short-tempered and my smoking and excessive drinking issues have driven her to get closer to her brother. In reality, I do not have a drinking issue, although I get angry easily. My initial immediate reaction was regret of having this kind of disloyal wife. I finally told her that I'm leaving her and be quitting all my wealth and property, and she will get the divorce papers soon. Moreover, our daughter would be in my custody as irresponsible, would not be able to take her in response. She said that she would break all the physical ties with his brother, which is obviously impossible, and wanted to live with me. I accepted her with no heart. And after such persuasion, I just temporarily lived with her for our daughter for the last year. After this scenario, we were living together with the adulation and she was very apologetic and guilty. I cannot still forget all this happened. We haven't talked much since then. She has promised to cut off all physical relationships with her brother. But to be honest, now the issue is I am unable to forget what had happened in all these years between them and it's ruining my mental peace. My wife's disloyalty is utterly disappointing. I wish she will raise up my daughter. Not like her. What should I do?